Howdy folks, it's Earl and welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator, and today we're going to begin another bush trip from the Oceania World Update. We've got two left. We've got Hawaii and we have New Guinea. We're saving the Hawaii one for last because we have done so much Hawaii or Hawaiian flight. Lately it's been crazy, so we're going to delay that one a little bit. So let's do the New Guinea challenge. I was previewing this a little bit before I started recording and looking at the airports. This is going to be a tricky one because you know I panic when I have tiny airports, even though I'm sure they are much big enough. You know, we land here, we probably stop by here, you know, that type of thing, but I freak out. So we'll see how it goes. This one could be more challenging than I was expecting, but I'm not complaining because I'm up for a challenge. The bush trips have been getting kind of easy lately. Maybe it's because I've done like 37 of them, but I'm up for a challenge. So, we're the CubCrafters NXCub, which I have flown before in another bush trip. Maybe the Patagonia one. Long time, like a year and a half, 2 years ago. How long has this thing been out? Over 2 years now, so it literally could have been 2 years ago. I don't know. I'm looking at trying to do 3 legs per video and then editing down to something that's consumable by you all. Just because if I do 1 or 2 legs per video, it's going to take like 2 weeks for you to watch it by the time I break down the videos, spread them out a day or two, you know, because too many videos too close together, people just can't watch them all. It's too much, right? Because you're all watching other stuff too. It's not like I'm the only person you're watching. So, yeah, I'm going to try to do 3 legs per video, or else it's going to take like 2 weeks to get through this thing for you. So that's the plan there. I do have quiet allergy voice because it's spring, quiet voice because it's like 10 p.m. and my kids have school in the morning and I don't want to wake them up, and my wife is grading final papers. She's an English professor, don't want to wake her up, so I apologize, but as I get more carried away my voice will perk up and that might wake somebody up. So anyway, here we go. Let's read about what we're doing and let's get going. Wasting too much time blabbing. The second largest island in the world after Greenland, New Guinea is one of the most salient components of Oceania. It is located in the southwestern part of the Pacific Ocean, separated by its southerly neighbor Australia by the Torres Strait. New Guinea measures roughly 1,500 miles in length by 400 miles at its widest. It is oriented west-northwest to east-southeast. So west-northwest, right? So left on the map. East-southeast to right on the map. So basically left to right at a slight angle. It has a main spine of mountains, the New Guinea Highlands, that run its entire length. These peaks are some of the most rugged and heavily vegetated in the world. New Guinea is politically divided into 2 portions of roughly equal area. The eastern half, Papua New Guinea, controlled by Indonesia and often called Indonesian New Guinea. The island has a long history of outside exploration and colonization due to its austere, which I see this in my word puzzle books all the time, extremely rugged nature, much of which New Guinea's interior has never been developed beyond simple trails and a few dirt airstrips. It remains largely untouched. The New Guinea Challenge takes aviators into the heart of the most rugged and challenging portion of the New Guinea to navigate from the air. The route begins at Wewak, Papua New Guinea, on the island's northern coast. It then strikes into the interior of the vast island and takes pilots along the highest reaches of the New Guinea Highlands. It ends in Indonesian New Guinea on the island's southern coast. So, we might crash on this one a few times. Every time I say we might crash, we never do. Every time I say it's going to be easy, we've only crashed once, I think. Maybe we've never crashed in a bush trip. I know we've done things like stress the engine, like when I've active paused and looked around with the drone, forgetting that the engine still runs. We've done that like 2 or 3 times. But I don't know if I've actually crashed. No, we did once. We were trying to climb mountain, or we were trying to climb an altitude to get over some like 20,000 foot mountains or something, and we did crash once because the if you remember was it the G36 or something, that Bonanza thing, the mixture wasn't working right, so I couldn't climb. I couldn't go over the mountain. And then I remembered I found a way to get around it. I don't remember. We had to like go around the mountains because it wouldn't climb because there's a bug with the mixture or something. We did crash. That was the only time I think we've crashed. Let's try not to add to that, but if we do, hey, happens to the best of us and the worst of us. And the mediocre of us, which is me, the mediocre. So anyway, it's not working to be a comedian today, is it? So let's go, yeah, let's get started. I've already talked for 5 minutes. Way too long. Let's get going. Alright, that's a weird spot to start us. I did that in the last trip too, which is kind of cool. So, if you want to know where we are in the world, if you pull up Papua New Guinea on a real life map, I'll show you. Okay, this isn't really gonna, this is a bad, doesn't zoom out enough to show you where we are. So if you pull up Papua New Guinea on Google Maps and you see Australia below us, we're actually not doing Papua New Guinea. We're starting in Papua New Guinea. This is in the northern tip, like halfway across Papua New Guinea, but we're actually going west across the political line into, I guess it's New Guinea. It actually doesn't say on Google Maps. So Papua New Guinea is over to the right. Australia is to our south. Australia is down here. There's Australia. So we're actually going west. We're not actually in Papua New Guinea. We're starting there. So yeah, just in case you're wondering where we are, because I was confused for a second. Maybe you're not confused, maybe I am. My world geography is rather good for an American, but I still was kind of confused. Okay, so that's where we are in the world, in case you're wondering. Let's just look up at our starting area here super quickly, just to get an idea of how good this is probably going to look. The scenery in the previous bush trip was absolutely ridiculous. So if you want to know what I'm talking about, just look at the New Caledonia one. Maybe this will be just as good. I have high expectations for this, both in terms of challenge and scenery. So we're going to be doing this for 5 or 6 hours, split up. So we better be good if it's going to be that much flying. Alrighty, so what do we do? We go inside. We should have repair and refuel, but we will. I think fuel's up here. On what? Where's my? Wait, I don't have. Oh, that's right. They rebuilt this plane. I have to set up my presets quick. I can't. Okay, give me a minute. Well, for you, no minute, because it's going to be a cut, but I have to take a minute here. Alright, got my preset set up. This is my flight view. This is everything up close, including autopilot and main flight display, and then things over there, fuel, looking out the window, looking at the fuel, and ELT looks like. Looking at the other fuel tank, looking out the window, and looking behind us. So there you go. Those are my presets, in case you're wondering. What do we need to do? We need to set some things up here and see what we can do with this. Doesn't look like there's much we can do. Menu, okay. Frequencies, don't care about this right now. Well, that's neat that you can play with that. Okay. Otherwise, what else do we have? Oh, we have a map here. What was it on there? I forgot. Anyway, zoom map is in this one? This one, okay. And let's get in the air here. Alrighty, after lifting off Wewak Airport on the shore of the Pacific Ocean, set a course to the south-southwest and follow the corridor of the Wewak Maprik Road to the village of Paliama. This part of New Guinea is characterized by northern New Guinea lowland rain and freshwater swamp forest ecoregion. Alright, cool. So we're going to look for a little village. Are we going to find it? Maybe. Sometimes we are able to find these things. Sometimes we aren't. We have to look at landforms instead. But we'll try to find it. And it's freshwater swamp forest. There's no ATC. I can't turn on ATC. Can't get an ATIS. B for barometer. I mean, generally there's never wind in these. Usually. But sometimes it does matter. So it just depends. I don't know. Let's set up autopilot though. Just so we can use the heading bug. Let's do 3,000 for right now, and then we'll just climb as we need to. Actually, let's do 4,000. We can get elevation, though, from our VFR map. So if we come down here, let it load. Come on. Let it load, let it load. Let's click on our... Oh, there's a big river at our destination. That helps. 48 feet, so... This can't be very high in between. So 4,000 feet. No, we gotta get over this, and then we can come down. Okay, cool. Flight director, where are you? There's flight director. We're going to use heading bug. And we'll use vertical speed. Yeah, let's use vertical speed. I don't know what a good climb rate is for this. I didn't look it up. Let's just do 1,000 feet per minute till we figure it out. And as far as heading goes, this is 109, right? 192, sorry. So let's swing this all the way back to 190. Let's push it. There we go. 192. We're basically heading the way we want to go once we get off this runway. Brakes are stopped, the wheels, gears fixed, flaps coming in, and here we go. We're going to hand fly out of here a little bit, because we got to get over this ridge before we engage autopilot. And then once we turn, we'll start the timer, and when we go about 3 minutes or so, we will look for our village. I mean, I do not mind like hand flying and everything, but the problem is that I ramble more, and well, it's turning on its own. I ramble more, and it just takes longer to navigate and find our stuff, so the videos get a little bit longer when I hand fly. But we'll use autopilot if we can. So here we go. Let's get out of here. Oh, I didn't do all my presets that I'm supposed to. I'll fix them later. In fact, I'm going to fix this one right now. Can I go up a little? I can. There we go. Alright, cool. Alright, let's look over. Oh, we got all my presets are not normal. Over here, there we go. Alright, we're basically past 192. Let's start the timer. And in 3 minutes or so, we will look for a village. And if we can, I want to get back on my path, but I wanted to avoid this hill. Alright, cool. Alright, we get autopilot. We should be good here. Bring props back a little bit. There we go, 192 for 3. Wait a minute. We do have our GPS. What if I do nav? What's going to happen? We do have our GPS. Look. Or do we? Why is it going so aggressively to line up with this thing? Huh. This is another way to see if we have GPS. Okay, we do have GPS. I lied about all that. But we don't know where our points of interest are, though, without the timer, so we'll do it this way for now. Yeah, we still need the timer and everything, which they did fix, by the way. It still runs now when you close the map. These don't collapse, though, which drives me crazy. They used to, so I know it's a bug that they don't. Alrighty, 2 minutes away, and then we'll know where our village is. However, I don't know the speed they planned on us going, so we'll figure it out. But anyway, let's get a nice screenshot here, perhaps. Perhaps. Maybe. Always long introduction. Just an introduction could be video of its own, but it's not going to be, so... Nope, there's some planes taking off behind us. We're just going to enjoy the scenery together here for a moment. And then we'll continue on our way. I think for this video we're going to get in 2 legs for this one, but we'll see. Beautiful. So, our destination for this first leg is only like right up here already, because those mountains are later. Huh, interesting. We're really cruising right now. This is awesome. Not that I'm in a hurry, I just like when we can stay on schedule. Alright, cool. Let's hop inside. What have we got here for time? 2 minutes, so we're going to look for a village in a moment here. And then we'll... Oh, 44 seconds. Oh, look. It is going to tell us where everything is. Okay, I guess for this first leg or two, we don't need to do it the manual way. We have it up here. We have GPS in this, so... I should have known, but all of these, you know, planes have different levels of detail, so they're not exactly the same like real life. If you've got the whatever, you have at least these features. But this isn't like that. This is different. Oh, look at the train turbulence. Okay, this is supposed to be preset 9. There we go. Oh, Anyway, I'm gonna fix my presets quick and then we'll look for a village. There's a village. There's no way I would have found that without GPS. I guess I could have tried to follow that road, which we're supposed to follow the road, but that would have been hard to find. I guess if I really had to try, we would have. Let's read about what's next. We only have 2 minutes how we get there. Continue on the south-southwestern course over dense forest to carefully search for a dirt track leading to the river mission, which lies just to the west of the river. Okay, so in 2 minutes we're going to look for a river. And just like that, we should be finding this dirt track leading to a river in 20 seconds. I mean, I see the dirt track here, which is like a road kind of, you know. And I see villages. Well, there's the river right there. Man, how would I find this without the help of the GPS? I guess I would have to fly way lower to the ground, maybe? But then sometimes it's harder to see when you're too low. I don't know. I'm glad we have advantage because this would be very difficult. Okay, next. 7 minutes out. Visually pick up the river corridor that runs to the west of the river mission and follow it to the south to the village of Kiwat. Okay. Note the large Sepik River in the distance and the large bow to the north of the banks of which lies the village of Timbunke. Kiwat lies north-northeast of Timbunke at the apex of the river bow. And what they're talking about is this large river and then the bow, which is like right here. So we're looking for a village right here. And then 3 minutes after that is our airport, which lies on the river. Okay, well, hopefully it's easy to find because it's on the river. Maybe. Hopefully it pops in when we get closer. We'll see. So I think we should come down a little bit. We don't want to come down too low because we want to be able to see where we're going. But we don't want to be too high because we don't want to be, 5,000 feet or 4,000 feet above our... Whoops. What am I doing? This one. This one. We don't want to be like 5,000 or 4,000 feet above where we're going. So let's go... let's go to 2,300. And... go down about 800 feet per minute. Bring back throttle so we don't overspeed, I guess it was doing. I don't know what was going on with that beeping. It hasn't beeped since. And we've had turbulence, so maybe it was an early overspeed warning. I don't know. So we're going to keep our map zoomed in, just hopefully the airport will show up, because it doesn't show up. Oh, come on, wrong one. It doesn't show up here at this zoom level. So let's hope it shows up on that zoom level. And in 5 minutes, we got to start looking for the airport, because we'll be landing soon after. So, I don't know, looking for a tiny village and a big river and then an airport. But man, this scenery is 10 out of 10 so far. I know I said that last time, but for the last trip, but this is even better. Alright, so far things are looking super fabulous. We're coming down okay. Got a couple minutes to go, and then we're going to look for this airport along the river. The river is on the synthetic vision, or 3D vision, whatever they call it. It's a little lower on the map yet, but I'm keeping it zoomed in for the airport. And we're down at the whatchamacallit, the altitude I want. barometer is 29902, which tells me we're not going to have to worry about winds probably. If this would change to something else, then something else is going on. Oh yeah, then there's fuel tank balance too. Yeah, there's nothing to worry about. We haven't used any fuel. So, nothing to worry about on this leg. We're going to stay just below the yellow here on speed, just because I want to be able to control this thing and come down. There it is. Good. This zoom level that shows up the airport. And it's perpendicular to us. But I'm going to have to spot it, I think, and then circle to land, which is not unreasonable. You'd want to do an inspection pass anyway for a grass strip. So, nothing unusual there. And as I get through this first leg and first video, we'll probably just do 2 legs per video, then it won't feel rushed. So it'll be 4 videos spread out. I'll do some back-to-back uploading day, back-to-back in days. I might skip a day here and there, so it'll take about a week for y'all to see this bush trip, plus whatever formal and stuff I squeeze in between. So I think that'll be my plan, that I don't feel rushed to get through these videos, because I've been wanting to spend more time with you with these bush trips. Because I'll take like a 5-hour bush trip and condense it into less than an hour and a half, right? And I don't know, it's been working for the past like 34 bush trips, but I want to change up a little bit. So look at this, that's pretty cool. So a little more scenery for you all, not rushing through them as quickly. But unfortunately, or fortunately, that also means I might be talking more. Most of you love when I talk. Most of you say keep talking. A very tiny percentage, like less than 1%, hate how I talk. But why would you watch this then? Watch something else. Right? I'd rather hear talking than awkward dead silence when I watch other people. So here we go. I don't see the river yet because we came down in altitude, which was what I was afraid of. You get too low, you can't see as well. But if you're too high, you can't see as well either. We'll see. Okay, that must be the overspeed thing, because look at that. Let's slow this thing down. Yeah, that turbulence was nuts. It knocked us up 100 feet. That was crazy. That was crazy. Anyway, I don't see the river yet. It's probably along this tree line. Let me see here. Yeah, I'm guessing it's along that tree line. You hear me clicking. Can I have Google Maps open just because I really wanted to see? The village. Okay, so the village lives along the airport, which makes sense, right? If you think about where we are in the world, that would make sense, because when you're... What? Oh, okay, that was something else in my house. Anyway, because when you're living... There we go. There's the river. Okay, we should be able to find the airport pretty easily. When you're in these rugged remote areas, right, where you can only get them by airport or like very special all-wheel drive vehicles, people live, the communities are along the airport, because why wouldn't they be? So no different here. Just appreciating the swamp marshes that they talked about in the navlog, right? And we should be flying over an airport here any second. And we have a low or high wing aircraft. We can actually look down and see where we're going. I like that they have a variety with the different aircraft, but it's kind of annoying that the bush trips use low wing aircraft sometimes. Seems to defeat the purpose. This turbulence is ridiculous right now. Oh my gosh, it's crazy how turbulent this props, look out, props, how turbulent this flight is. Alright, so we should be able, whoops, my presets are a little different, there we go. We should be able to, well, maybe we won't see the airport from the airplane. Let's look outside, not to cheat, but just because it'd be cool to see the village and stuff. See, you can see the village here. See how the village is along the airport? Right here, because there's the road coming in, probably the only road. And then an airport, and then a little community road. And they just live along the airport, because why wouldn't they? Okay, so let's fly out here, use this green strip to help line us up. And step on the triangle, or the dash under the triangle to coordinate your turn. And standard rate turn. And keep an eye on our speed and get ready for flaps. We will do full flap landing, obviously. We're going to try to land at the nearest tippity tip of the runway. Although I'm sure we have plenty of space if we don't. But this is what bush trip flying is all about. Wait till we get to the mountains. I'm so excited about this bush trip because, like I said, they've been getting kind of easy. Not like because I'm so good, because I'm not. I'm mediocre. But they've just been easy to navigate, easy to find the airports, easy to land. So I'm excited about this challenge here. Keep your nose in one spot where you want. If we come down, we're going to lose the runway. So just keep it in one spot right now until we're ready to land. First set of flaps. Use some throttle here. Oh, that's right. This is like a sportier aircraft. A little bit of throttle goes a long way. Unlike some other aircraft.
500.
And here we go. This is going to be the easiest one till the end. So if this doesn't go well, it only gets harder from here for a while. And then it'll get easier towards the end of the trip. 2 flap. I must go. I don't know if there's 2 or 3 flaps. I'll have to check later, but it's about like 10 times. So we got full flap. And my Maine Coon is meowing at the door. Okay, I don't know what we had for trees. I think we're fine on trees. I think we're past the trees now. Yeah, I think so. We have to be. Actually, maybe we were way long. Maybe we didn't have to be this far down. Whatever. Soften out so we don't bounce. There we go, ground effects. And no bounces. That was scary. Stop. Thank you. Goodness gracious. So there we go. Leg 1 down. Let's do the next leg in this video. Here we go. Alrighty. Obviously, they just left us where we landed. Whoops. Let's take care of that here. And so we'll just start from this end. There's no wind. I just want to check out this village because this is so cool. Look at this. Living right up against the airport. Look at this. There's a little road. Like the one road to get in. Look at this. It's like they live, well, not like they live in the jungle. They do live in the jungle. This has so many Forza Horizon vibes. Or Forza Horizon 5 vibes. Look at this. Wow. Oh my gosh. I know this isn't Village Simulator. But still. I'm going to take a screenshot of that. Oh my goodness. Sorry. I'm just going to appreciate this for a minute. And I like I said in the previous video, or previous bush trip, I like how good the autogen and the satellite imagery is, because when the company that remain unnamed builds the handcrafted airports for the sim, or handcrafted things, buildings and POIs for the sim, they look super cartoonish and I can't stand it. So when everything is like part of the sim like this, it's not cartoonish and it looks amazing. I don't understand why that company makes such cartoonish looking objects when I do textures for Minecraft that don't look cartoonish, and I don't know what I'm doing. And they do, and they still look like cartoons. It looks like X-Plane 9 or worse. But anyway, I digress. I wasn't going to get on that rant, and I did. Too late now. Alrighty, hop inside. Oh yeah, how many flaps do we have? So we got, if we go all the way down, we got, that's one set. So 1, 2, 3. There are 3. Okay, so there's 1, 2. Yep, 3 sets of flaps. Okay. Or I could have gone like this, I suppose. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, see on the right. Whatever. Make things complicated when we don't need to. Alright, repair and refuel. And how long is this leg? It's not terribly long, but it's kind of long. Let's zoom that out a little bit. And we're headed to what now? Hotel Quebec. I just want to see, get a little preview here. Just want to go across the water. Oh, we're just going to follow the river for like half an hour, 45 minutes. That's not too bad. Okay, cool. Not bad at all. So I don't think we need to really go that high in terms of altitude. We could probably stay at 2,300 feet and not hit anything. Well, let's go 3,000 so we can kind of see what's going on here. And we'll do flight director again. And we still have GPS, so we're going to take advantage of it because we can. We'll lose it eventually probably when I quit and come back. Vertical speed, I don't know. Whatever we did last time seemed good. Let's do 1,100 feet. I think this thing can climb like straight up pretty much. And we're going to get one set of flaps. Okay, let's read about what we're doing here. After lifting off, set a course to the west, which we have to make a U-turn, that's fine. And keep to the north of the river. Visually identify a series of oxbows. I'm not sure what they mean by that. Along the river, and then do they mean like the river goes back and forth like bows? I'll have to look that up. And then find Kapari Mission on the northeastern bank of the river, just to the northwest. Series of oxbows. Okay. Yeah, so I looked up oxbow, and it's U-shaped bend in a river, which is what I guessed it was. I don't know if some of these planes like that. Well, I guess the fighter jet could take off here, maybe if they can take off from a, what you call it, aircraft carrier. But anyway, we don't need much room to take off in this thing. It's the stopping that worries me because of the tail or the prop striking. That's what worries me most. But here we go, ramp it up and go. We'll probably be in the air before that building on the right. But it's the stopping that freaks me out, not the takeoff. So here we go. We're going to go like this and then make a U-turn along the river. And, yep, told you, before the building, we were up. Brakes stop the wheels, gears fixed, flaps are in. We're going to hand fly out of here a minute. We can keep the prop in the red for a minute. That's okay. We'll make a sharp U-turn, go along the river, engage autopilot, because why not? And then, head towards the mission. Is that what we're looking for? Did it say we're looking for a mission? Yeah. Northwest of a series of oxbows. Well, there's nothing but oxbows, so how would you know? You know what I mean? I guess that's what the clock and heading bug are for. Alright, step on the triangle, make our U-turn here. Not having peripheral vision drives me insane. I'm not going to get like track IR because I think that would make me nauseous, to be honest. Here we go. Burn a UE. Keep climbing. And then we'll hand fly just for another moment here. 1, because it's fun. 2, because the GPS or autopilot will get aggressive hunting for the purple line when we don't need to. So we're just going to do it ourselves here. Looking fantabulous. Wow. We're only on leg 2, and this might be my favorite bush trip of all of them. Fantastic. Alright, we're about to intersect the purple line, and when we do, we'll engage autopilot, and that's close enough. Engage autopilot, bring back props enough so that we don't get in the red here. Then I'll manage our speed so that we're just below, or just barely within the yellow, so we don't get yelled at. And we're, well, not 6 minutes out because it's coming down yet to calculate. And then we'll look for a little village, or they call them missions, which I think in this context, I could be wrong, but in this context I think they're like villages where people have had mission trips to help build and repair and sustain the villages, like, you know, religious mission trips, since they're mostly religious. I think that's what they mean by the missions here in this context. You know, remote villages, they have no supplies or anything, so people, like, through religious organizations, usually, right, nonprofits too, which are usually religious, not always, they bring in supplies and all that stuff, which is why they have maintained airports. I think that's what they mean by missions in this context. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure, even though I'm not articulating that super well. Alright, it's to stay north of the river, which we're going to, but we're going to also aim for the river as it bends to the north a little bit, or west-northwest. And in 5 minutes, we will look for a village, and I'll see you then. less than a minute, and there should be a village. And then after that, it's Chamber Lake, which is a large oval lake, which is right here. So that's pretty obvious. So we're going to look for the village, and then we'll fly to that big lake, which is right in front of us. Hard to believe that's 4 minutes away when it's right there, but apparently it is. So first of all, do we see a village along this river here? I don't. I'm so glad we have the GPS. How would you find? What does it say? It says, I mean, it's like right now, right? Yeah, just to the northwest of the series of Ox was on the northeastern bank, which is our side. Northeastern bank is right there. I mean, that literally could be it right there. I guess. I mean, it could be. I would have either that or this. I mean, it's beautiful, but how are we supposed to find that? Because now we're on the... Wait, now we're in the northwestern. What did it say? Northwest series. Northeastern bank. That's right there. On the other side. Whatever. I'm worrying about it way too much. I just want to be like as accurate and stuff as possible, but I don't know. If we didn't have GPS, I'd be lost. I just have to say that. So anyway, let's enjoy crossing over this lake and checking out the hills and the mountains, and then we'll see what comes up next in Rome again. Alright, there were a bunch of islands. I told you my island story in the previous bush trip, so go watch that one. While we continue on this one. Turn, let's see, slightly heading north, which we just did automatically, and gain a visual on the Sepik River in the western distance. I think it's the river we were on, and it just kind of comes through here. We get a sighting in the western distance right here. I think that's it. Sight the sharp bend in the river, just to the south of a small lake. Okay. 8 minutes away. Boonti lies to the west of the apex of the river's bend. Okay, I think I know what they're talking about here. Because if you look, there's a tiny lake, either that lake or that lake, but that one's tinier, and there's a sharp bend, so I think we're headed right here. I'm pretty confident that's where we're going. So we're looking for Boonti, which just must mean another mission or village. They don't say what a Boonti is, but it must be like a village. So that's where we're headed, right there. See you when we get there. Alright, we're still 4 minutes out, but the bend is already very obvious. And I'm confident our our altitude is enough. Maybe. Let's go up a little bit though, just so we don't have as much turbulence. Let's go up another 1,000 feet or so here. We could do IS hold and all that stuff. Let's do vertical speed instead. I like vertical speed. Let's go like that. More prop and throttle to climb. And I also wanted to say that I don't know about you, but this scenery is so amazing. This is definitely, so far, my favorite push trip of all of them. There's been like 30 something. This is amazing. It's only going to get better from here too. Wow. Alright, we're climbing. It says we're 3 minutes out, but I think we're pretty much there. So there's the Ubuntu. It must be another mission or village. We'll get a closer look though once we get there. Oh, let's bring back props a little bit here. I just wanted to climb quickly. We're almost at our elevator. New elevation. Altitude. Elevation is how high the mountains are. Altitude is how high we are. Look at the red banks of the river though. That's amazing. How's fuel working? Whoop, fuel, there it is. Fuel using this one. It's okay. Should we come down here and change fuel tanks? There we go. Must have done it right because it didn't turn off. And I can't remember what the tolerances are. It says, right? Usable. I thought there's a thing that said when you need to change it. Like it'd be like, do not have more than 5-gallon difference or something. That must be the other planes that say that. Alright, bring back throttles a little bit so they don't overspeed and cause issues here. And hop outside and let's check this out. Do we see? Yes, we do. There it is. Right there. That one's easy to see. We'll wait till we get a little bit closer. Whoops, a little bit closer here. There we go. Where is it? It'll come out in a second. There it is. That is awesome. Launch edition, whatever that means. There we go. There's Ubuntu, I think it was. Another cool little mission village. Remote. Nowhere to get there. Oh, there's an airstrip there. Of course there is, because remember what I said before. All these missions have their airstrips. That's the only way to get supplies. Every single one of them. Right? So, sometimes I pretend I know what I'm talking about. Other times I do. Okie dokie, what's next? After Ubuntu is the Sepik River. Turn slightly to the south of due west and sight a prominent oxbow lake. It's only 3 minutes away, so maybe it's this. Are we overspeeding? I don't know if that's an overspeed thing or like an ELT warning from the turbulence. I haven't been able to figure it out. Anyway. Maybe that's what this thing is under the nose, because it's only 3 minutes away. Pass over the river just south of the Oxbow Lake. I mean, it has to be that thing, right? So there's that, and then next, since we're coming up on it already. Oh no, maybe this is it here. We'll find out. We'll find out. Swag-up, maintain heading, and fly to the south of the corridor of the river. Okay, we're just gonna fly along the river to the south, which is here, right? The village of Wewak lies just to the west of a prominent northern turn in the river. So there's a northern turn, which is right here. Okay, so we're over the Oxbow Lake. There's a northern turn right here. So Swag-up is this village, like right in here. And then we'll read about what's next. So, okay, so I'll see you when we get to like, come on, where's my thing? There it is. Like this area to look for Swabuk. See you in a moment again. So there's Wewak under our nose, or just about to be under our nose. So let's hop outside and have a look-see. I guess it's still a little ways out, but it seemed closer from in the airplane, and then once we get there, we will read about the next thing. Alright, coming up on Guinea. And it's pretty obvious. Let's just go under here so we can see it more. Very cool. And we got a village there, or mission or whatever. So let's hop inside. Let's reset this thing first because it's tilting. Let's hop inside and look out there in case we can see something. And what is going to happen next after Swig? Did I say gay up? I meant swig up. We're going to head to Yarmu, continue following the corridor, and sight the Wario River to the south of the Sepik. Or Sepik? The village of Yarmu lies on the north side of the river, just to the west of Wario meets Sepik. Alrighty. Yarmu. Just go along the river for 7 more minutes, I guess. And then shortly after that is Hauna Airstrip. Turn the southwest heading at Yarmu and sight the airstrip on a small peninsula surrounded by 3 sides of a partial oxbow lake on the south side of the river. Hopefully we can spot it. I mean, it's just where there's an oxbow, right? So it's surrounded by a river on 3 sides. Should be terribly bad to find. We'll do the best we can. So, I'll see you at Yarmu. Oh, I just smacked my hand on my desk. Alright, we are about to reach our airport. So let's, whoa, what's going on here? So let's see, where is this thing though? There it is right there. Okay, that's really easy to spot. And I obviously, like, was so busy enjoying the sightseeing that I overshot what we were doing. So that's kind of funny. So we're going to turn around here. Well, let's bring back props. We'll turn around. I don't want to use a circle cam too much, or yeah, circle cam, chase cam, whatever you want to call it. But we're going to have to, just because of the nature of what's going on and lack of peripheral vision and all that stuff. So let's go like this for right now to get us some distance to land. We'll land from the water, obviously. Looks like a one-way in and out type thing. I also, during the sightseeing, was looking this up in satellite imagery and Google Maps, and as you can imagine, this area floods a lot, because when I looked up the airstrip with whatever satellite imagery Google Maps used at the time, it's in the satellite, but it's completely flooded and full of water at the time they took the image. So that was really cool to see. So obviously this area floods and is inaccessible when it's flood season. Let's see here. We need to slow down a lot. I'm going to slip it in once we turn around and get a visual on it again. Should be any second here. Standard rate turn, coordinated, still descending. I hope this was enough space. And it should just pop into view. It already did. There we go. So let's slip it. So we're going to use right rudder, left aileron. So we'll descend very quickly and not gain any speed. So look at our altitude and VSI, but then look how we're not gaining speed. Oh gosh, there's a tree right in the way. You see that? What? So do we go around the tree or what do we do? Because do first set of flaps, because like I said, trees are not freebies anymore like they used to be. So if we hit that tree, we're done. At the same time, let's do more flaps here. I know we're out of flap range, but let's do full flap anyway. You're not supposed to use flaps or brakes. Do not use flaps as brakes, but I am. Do as they say, not as they do. So, yeah, oh yeah, we were fine. There should be a long enough runway even when we avoid the tree here, or is it? We're gonna come over the tree and then come down, land right at stall, because we need to come back, round it out, soften it out. Perfect on the brakes. That was a rough landing, but for a rugged field landing, that was fine. It was fine. A little rough, but it's fine. Okay, cool. We made it. There we go. 2 legs done. I think we're going to stick with 2 legs per video, so I feel less rushed. We'll see how I feel. I might change my mind 20 times. But anyway, like the video so other people know we exist. And subscribe so you know when the next video of this series of the bush trip, whatever you want to call it, drops. I'll see you then.